MMA Journal Canada is partnered with Unity Underwear, King's Fightwear, and MK1 Boxing Equipment. Use code DREAMER to save 20% off your total purchase on all Unity apparel, and head down to the MK1 shop to save 10% off their world-class equipment with code MMAJournalCA.
To the clinch, heavy uppercuts by Link gets the separation. Reopens the pile, but Bridges is all through.
So far, so good. I had to go teach. I had to go get my hair done. I'm now eating some cookie dough and getting ready to go back to the gym.
Hell yeah. Getting the energy back. Right off the bat, you're someone who, even if I see the name from Isaac just tagging you in something stupid, you on the screen, I just fucking beam, because you just love the sport. You love to fucking fight, dude.
I do. I love it so much.
Like everything, like Muay Thai, like even fighting, fucking MMA, bare knuckle, all this stuff. Obviously, for folks that don't know, you've been in this and been doing this for about the past 5 years, 6 years, about.
I've been training for about 7-8 years, but I've been competing for about 6 years. Yeah.
It's incredible, man. And like just your like Game Bred FC, BYB, bare knuckle FC, and like I remember I saw your tag of like bare knuckle, like I see you guys, and then you got that fight. Like right. you just make this shit happen, and it's just obviously we all see it that you love the game, man, and you're fucking good at it too. Ross, I messaged Ross and he got back to me and just said, you're someone special, that you're gonna go a long way, especially at this level right now where you're at with just the start. It's insane, dude. So hats off, especially having him as a coach too. That's a special brain right there.
So I worked with Ross for about a year. Mm-hmm. Since let's see, about after my fight with Kalia Karuni, I changed up my coaching team. I box under a gentleman named Charles Ellis now.
Okay.
He's out of Valor Martial Arts, which those guys are awesome. I've been kind of popping in there on and off for like the last many years, but I actually go there almost full time now. It's kind of awkward because I coach at a different gym, but professionally, my needs are met at Valor, and luckily they've been pretty cool with that so far. But Charles has been great. If you look at my fight with Kalia Karuni,
yes,
compared to my fight a few weeks ago, it's a night and day difference. And it's not so much, it's the coaching style. I am very receptive to a certain style, and a wall goes up otherwise. Like, I've got to be, I don't know, necessarily talk to in a certain way. Like, just things click differently with me. Like the way they're explained to me. You can say something to me 5 times, but I might just stare at you like I don't get it. So just having someone who really understands how to communicate differently with different people. And that's one thing I've tried to do with my coaching is, okay, this is what works for me. That's really cool, but it might not work for you because maybe physically you're built different, or maybe, mentally it just isn't clicking. So I try to incorporate that with my own coaching. But Charles has been great with that. And I can see even when I go to class, when I go work with him, he might explain something to me one way and explain the exact same thing to the guy next to me totally differently. And that helps me a lot.
It's having a trend case. So a lot of that comes too from, like, I worked in kitchens for a long time and I was a chef for a couple of years. Mm-hmm. And it's the exact same thing. You need to be able to see where people are at. If someone needs the stern, all right, it's fucking go time. Let's like, there's some guys who say they'd be in the bathroom and I'd be like, all right, fire it out. It's time to fucking go, boys. Right. There's also, we're training a 16-year-old. She's just out of high school or in high school. And her name was, I call her Brooklyn because she's amazing at tossing pizza and dough and shit. Small thing, tiny and timid. Right. And I go up to her and be like, all right, Brooklyn, you own this kitchen. You are the boss here. I want you to fucking kill it today. You're going to, and if you need me, I'm here all the time. And so I'd be delegating, all right, gentlemen, and then be able to, in a tip of a hat, go, okay, Brooklyn, so we're going to be going. And you need, it's all on you. You have to be able to delegate your own energy if you're coaching or leading. And a lot of folks they don't even realize that it's having a translator on, and even using
Right.
different terms. Like, let's say you like anime more. All right, you're Goku in this. I need you to go Super Saiyan mode. Like,
Yes.
you have to do that kind of shit for people.
Yes, absolutely. And that's not to take away anything from Ross when I worked with him. I mean, former world champion. He has all the accolades. He's fantastic. Just the way he puts it out and the way I take it in, there was just always a little bit of a disconnect.
Yeah,
And once I got rid of the disconnect, like mind blown. Like my skill sets expanded so much, and it's not so much what's been being taught to me, it's just how it's being taught to me.
exactly. And that's not on him or on you. That's just the
Right,
way that you
absolutely.
learn, right? Like, I had some of the best chefs ever. They would try and teach me, and they would tell me exactly what they're doing. And I put up a wall. I said, let me do this. Like, let me do this, please, because that's how I learn, right? So it's all, and then once they realize that and you're allowed, or, I've worked in 14, 15 restaurants. Once you move around and you find that spot and you're allowed to express yourself in that way, or not allowed, but you find, right? Because no one's
Right.
trying to
You finally
block you off.
right, you finally feel that comfort level,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Like I don't have like obviously going into a fight, you still have kind of some of those anxieties, but I was getting severe anxiety before my fights. Like I would stress out the whole week beforehand, I'd be just completely beside myself, stressed out. And I realized once I made that change in gyms, like that's gone. I have that normal level of, oh my gosh, I'm getting ready to go fight someone. Holy cow. That everyone gets. You get the kind of angsty feeling, but
You're
I
going
am,
like this in BYB. You're hyping people. You're loving it. Like, you can see
yes,
it,
yes.
right?
I have an, just internal kind of calm about myself during fight week. Everyone gets anxious. There's always going to be that fear, and anyone who says fighting's not scary is full of it. Fighting is scary. It doesn't matter at what level you're at. It doesn't matter. Like stepping in there every single time is scary, and it stays being scary. Um, Not so much like, oh, I think I'm going to get hurt. It's just I'm finding for most people that I've talked to, it's not so much about getting hurt, not even about what if I lose. It's what if I look stupid? Like that's the biggest thing. Like don't look stupid. Don't look stupid. Like it's fine. Like that's why I've taken a few losses, and I don't. I obviously I want to win. I go out there and I do my best, but I don't necessarily feel bad about those losses because I can see how much I've been progressing from one fight to the next. There's times I can be like, okay, I should have done this, this, this. Let's go work on it. But at no time did I go, oh, well, I feel stupid.
That's good. Well, yeah, because it's all the learning shit too, right? Because if it's pure and you're putting in that work and effort, and you do end up on the loss side, again, it's not a loss. I've spoken with so many of these folks and fighters, and again, especially even Isaac. He said for anyone that gets angry about a loss, he went up. I forget who it was, but he went up to him and he thanked him for the loss, and even on the screen on his interview with the BKFC
Mhm.
interview, he was busted up and he said that was amazing, like, thank
Yep.
you for that. And that wasn't a show or bullshit of him trying to put down the loss in any way, because some guys will do that, right? They'll be like, yeah,
Yep.
thanks, man, it was a good lesson, whatever, on to the next one. But he was actually appreciative of it, so this
Yes.
doesn't happen when this title shot comes, right? So
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. The only losses I have where I'm like, that didn't look great. I have two pro MMA fights. I'm not an MMA fighter. I, in theory, I would love to
Muay
be.
Thai.
Right. I started stand up. My problem now is I want to get better at, like I'm doing an AGF tournament tomorrow. On one hand I'm excited, on the other I'm like, not so much. Just I don't have the mat time. Like I've been a no stripe blue belt for 3 years because every time I get a fight contract, I'm off the mats. I don't want to risk getting hurt when, I'm getting paid all this money to go box. Like why would I get hurt at the gym goofing off, and lose a paycheck? So I don't have the mat time. And I signed up for this tournament specifically because I knew I would force myself to get in. So for the past month, I've been getting about 4 hours a week on the mats, whether it's like open mat and rolling or class. but even still, like, I don't feel prepared, and it's my own fault. Like, so I'm going in, I'm gonna have fun. We'll see what happens. On the plus side, no matter what, because of how many people are in my division, I get a medal. So it's whatever.
Well, and it's the experience too, more than
Yeah.
anything. You're going and you get to
Right.
test up here too, right? And your
Yes.
skills and your reaction time too. That's a really important thing because that like especially with those, you know, it's a test. It's a
That
test.
is.
The essays, right, that you're writing to get to that grand finale of the big exam at the end of the semester, right? But there'll be
Yes.
more semester. Like one of the boxers I was speaking with, she's a teacher and she kind of broke it down like this too. And yeah, it's like they're all kind of like small tests till you get to that exam, and then you know once you get that world title level, that's like graduating, right? And
Right.
that's kind of the
Yeah.
route you're on.
That's exactly why I signed up for the tournament, because I'm like, okay, one, it'll push me to get into the gym, and two, I just want to test it. I haven't done a jiu-jitsu tournament in about 4 years. So in the last 4 years, I've really not been on the mats that much, and it's completely my fault. I can't like be like, oh, I'm not that great. The only reason I'm not that great is because I just don't put in the time and effort, and that's on me. Like, my coaches have been like, why are you signing up for this tournament? I'm like, I don't know, see how it goes. Like, I just want to try it.
Why not?
Exactly. That's it. It's why not.
That's the best too. Win or loss, it's why not to really test it. That's really sweet. If you ever, I was chatting with the third pound for pound on the planet kickboxer lives in Vancouver here, and they do a lot of striking seminars. They bring in like Rod Tang from One Championship is coming in.
Oh, wow. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
like they got all the big guys too, but they also, you know, for anyone that wants to like up their game too, because they're, I went there for my first class and I was doing interviews and stuff, but I did a class too.
Mhm.
They had 3 WBC national champions and
Awesome.
just teaching the classes. And then the, again, Petch is the third pound for pound. They're teaching as well with Adrian, who is the Muay Thai instructor at AKA Thailand and Tiger Muay Thai for like 15 plus years, worked at Fairtex.
Oh, yeah.
So if you ever want to come up to Canada and just train with them and fuck around and hang out and like see how their brains are too, because I know it's like you said too, it's you know, having that translator and even just getting that kind of that connection, and you will get a full Thai experience at this place. It's nuts. But I'm
That's
sure
crazy.
there's spots like that down there. But I just like to always offer an option too for folks.
Oh, no, for sure. Like, I would love to do that. I would love to find more Muay Thai or kickboxing options. Someone, I don't even remember, there was some social media post made, but someone tagged Mike Vasquez on the post and asked if there would be like bare knuckle, other types of bare knuckle coming, whether it's Muay Thai or whatever. And I commented, I said, hey, I'm first in line. I will
bare knuckle
kick.
Muay Thai.
So someone was asking about it. It's basically Lithway with no headbutts.
Yes.
That's really all it is. But someone was like, hey, is this ever going to be a thing? I don't know if he responded to the post. I have no idea. But I was like, first in line, bells and whistles. I'm there for it.
There's the road, you know, One Championship, right?
Yes.
Yeah. The road to One Championship was officially launched this year in North America. There's tournaments. In 2024, it's in Montreal. And whoever wins the tournament, they get $100,000 contract and to go fight for One Championship too.
That's so cool.
That's open for anyone in North America that truly wants to do it. So again, that's another option too if you want to go the One Championship route. But that would be purely Muay Thai or MMA,
Right.
kickboxing. So
those ladies are terrifying.
I know, but again, you are too. You are too when you go in there
No.
and your face is going. No, when you are in there and in your, especially like when you're in the zone, you see that face, like you're fucking. I think Biggie Boy or Big Boy from BKFC. He was trying to come up with a nickname there. Do you have an official one yet? Because
I just think
you're from Wichita. You're from Wichita, right?
Right. So
Literally thinking, watching you stories, Jessica, the Wichita link.
So I've only been given one nickname the entire time I've trained, and it's mostly just a joke, but they all still call me it at the gym.
Yeah.
So a few years ago, probably 3 years ago now, maybe a little longer, I shaved my head, like just completely shaved it off. And so my coach at the time, he looked at me as soon as he was done and goes, "Oh my God, you look like McLovin." And so there's a select group of people at the gym who were around at that time. So, you know, there's always a lot of turnover. They they all still call me McLovin.
Oh
And
my
that's the only
God.
nickname they've ever given me. And they're like, that should be your fight name. I'm like, on one hand, that's hilarious, but I'm like, no.
Like, especially if you're going up there too, because you want to be at the top, right? And so, you know,
Right.
yeah.
Just McLovin. Yeah. Isaac calls me McLovin sometimes.
Oh my God.
Yeah. That's so that's probably never gonna go away. I've accepted it. I just let it happen. There was a local fight I did. I think it was my last amateur kickboxing fight I had, but they were giving me a hard time saying they were going to pay the announcer under the table to announce that as my name when I came out. Luckily, he's really cool and he's like, no, I'm here for the fighters. I'm never going to make a fighter embarrassed. And I'm like, thank you, sir.
Yeah. It's, you know, it gets you laughing, but you're in war mode. You don't want to be, you know, kind of like.
Right. Oh my gosh. I would die laughing if I heard that, and then probably it would throw off my whole fight.
Exactly. 1-800-273-8255.
Yes. Everyone
Yes.
should know what that number is. Everyone should call it if they need to call it. Like, that's very important content.
100%. I'm gonna name this like this episode that episode just for that.
That's awesome. Yes. Yes, that's fantastic. I don't know what that is.
No, me too. No worries.
It's my Hercules from was it The Nutty Professor? Like Hercules. My Hercules clap.
Holy shit, I haven't seen that in 20 years, dude. Thank you for that. Oh my God. So Home Kids Foundation, Second Chance Beginnings, that kind of stuff. You know, I'm doing a charity. I'm doing some charity work for a girl sick in the UK as well. I think it's just really good that when we have this opportunity to talk about it, just to do it, because so many people kind of, it's almost like a for some people it doesn't feel like it's pure when they do it, right? Like
Right. No, I'm always working with different companies, like the ones you just listed off. A lot of those were just like one-time sponsors, but everyone I know in those organizations, I was friends with before those organizations even started. Like Second Chance Beginnings, my good friend Philip Webb runs it, and back when we were, good friends and hanging out, he was not in the best place in his life, and I wasn't either. But once I kind of quit hanging out with those people for a while, he went through a rough spot, really turned it around, and that's what came out of it. So I was all about spreading the word, helping support how I could. Same thing with the So Home Kids. The family that runs it, I worked with the husband. He and I worked together for the Department of Corrections. Like, we work together. So, I know these people. And so I'm really happy to be able to support them. In like 2 weeks, whenever the third is, what is that, next weekend after? I don't know. I'm actually helping with the Wichita Area Sexual Assault Center. They're doing their annual retreat, and they bring in different instructors to do different things. And a lot of time it's, maybe a yoga class or something. And this time they're going to have someone doing like sound therapy with them towards the end of the day. But then they're going to be doing just like an hour-long workout with me. Like, they'll be introduced to some basic boxing techniques, just some general workouts, just get them moving around, and everything, just because of their backgrounds. It's going to be completely optional. They're going to have a little area they can go sit in if they would rather, just go color, go hang out, just watch. Like, they don't have to participate, because some of them, that physical aspect might not be something they want to do. So it's totally optional participation. They're estimating maybe 10 to 15 teenage girls are going to be attending. So I'll be doing that. And luckily, I was donated like a ton of just super basic boxing gloves. And so when I'm done with that event, I actually will be shipping them to Mike Vasquez with BYB, who will be donating them to local gyms for, underfunded gyms who need equipment.
Dude, well, and I like how that's being put too. It's not, because as soon as you say self-defense, like even myself, it's almost a trigger, right? It's almost you don't want to.
That's something
I was on that, right?
Yes, I was told from day one, it is not self-defense. We don't call it self-defense. We won't talk about self-defense because of that triggering aspect for some of these girls.
Yeah, no, it's just and again, it's an optional workout, and like you said, it's an introduction to even some of them might, like, let's say just that might you know, obviously you're fighting away during those things. So that even just doing that could be a
Right.
you know, something that brings up negative emotion and attachment to a negative feeling too. And you don't want to, some people, again, it's having that translator, just like you said for your coaching, right? You need to be
Yep.
able to, some people would be putting on these self-defense courses and have
Right.
hundreds of people that have had these issues happen to them not go because of that, how it's being put on.
Yep.
So
Absolutely.
this is a
Yeah.
nice way
This
of doing that.
Yes, and this event is ran by, people in the social work system. Like it's ran by case managers, social workers, the people that work with and for the state. Like so it's a really good event. I guess they call it a retreat every year, and it's different every year. This is the first time I've gotten involved with it. Um, and the way I did, again, I worked with a woman who, at the time we were coworkers. She left. She took a job with the Wichita Area Sexual Assault Center. So, I knew her. And when it came up that they were trying to get ideas, she reached out to me and she's like, "Hey, would you want to do this?" And I was like, "Okay." That's kind of my response to everything. It's just, okay.
That's the best. That's the best. Like I said, again, especially when it's these kinds of things, right? Whether it's bettering yourself or bettering people around you. And again, that attached. That's why again, when I at the beginning, I said I just fucking beam when I see your name or I see you fighting or like anything. It's just out of the love for the sport and what you can bring in through your talent, through the love of the sport too. Because again, you know, there's so many people that have this you know, this following or this gathering and they don't use it. Maybe they do, and I'm underplaying it. You know, I think a lot of people are involved in this kind of thing, but
Right.
the people that aren't, and not to shame them at all, but you know, you have this opportunity to help people. Why not take it, right? So
Right. Well, and I like to be like pretty public about it, not so much as, hey, look at me, look at all the stuff I'm doing, more so to reach those demographics of people who might think that's not for me or that's not the type of thing that would work for me. No, 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 this is for everybody. Like it's for anyone and everyone. And those people who think, we're just all violent and bad people, because there are those people out there, and I want to help show them no, no, like we're not all like that. There's going to be people like that everywhere, but for the most part, the fight community they're some of the nicest people I've ever met. And so if I can help show people that, I'm going to do that.
dude, 100%. That's the meaning of this show too. That's the meaning of this fucking shit. Because honestly, it's the martial arts community is looked at like still negatively. You know, honestly, like get this, you will not believe this. This fucking blew me away. So I flew to Toronto to go cover the very first legal national amateur WBC Muay Thai event sanctioned. We never had legal
Oh,
Muay Thai national championship before.
okay.
It was illegal because of elbows, because of cuts and all that stuff. Obviously, you know, even bare knuckle is being sanctioned across differently as well.
Right.
But it was the first time in our country's history that we were allowed to have a legal Waco sanctioned WBC bout
For amateurs.
for amateurs.
Oh,
Yeah.
so here it's not allowed at all for amateurs here because
Wow.
of the elbows.
Wow. And okay, so if you know anyone so let me know if you have anyone that wants to get in contact with that, because there's loopholes and they had for the younger ones too, elbow pads so those wouldn't happen. And there was
Oh,
a
okay.
little bit of there was some leeway that they found to get that going. Because if you
Mhm.
don't find that loophole or that leeway, it's not gonna fucking change.
Right. Yeah. So here, amateurs can do kickboxing, and the rules will vary from state to state. So here, you can do sweeps, you can do full clinch. There's just no elbows. So it's basically Muay Thai sans elbows.
Mm,
But when I went down to Oklahoma to kickbox, you're not allowed to catch the legs. You're not allowed to sweep. Like it was a really weird rule set. So even then, it varies from each athletic commission.
yeah, no, it's crazy how far behind we are. Like, because you go to Thailand and they're fifth, like you said, they're monsters. They're
Right.
16,
But their
17,
little
yeah.
kids are like they're terrifying.
100 fights. Hey, like I love it. I love it.
Right?
And that's what that I'm calling it the year of the fight fan, because like this kind of stuff is blowing up everywhere. And like
Yes.
not just you talk to people about UFC and dude, like I've spoke with everyone, like the news, they'll cover Israel Adesanya won the belt, maybe, right? Like
Right.
maybe, like they don't even they won't do any coverage, and even other MMA pages, which I will not name. You know, one championship, Jonathan Haggerty, he won the belt from Nongo Lumpini Stadium. he grew up watching Nongo. He was someone like he looked up to. He reigned, and he was a 425 to 1 or four and a half
Right.
to 1 underdog.
Right.
The title, but on the same night that fake Logan Paul guy got choked out by Nate Diaz, and that made headlines across all. There wasn't a single North American MMA page that posted about Jonathan Haggerty, and so like true martial arts is really like I think is gonna come to life soon. With
and even though it was, you know, it not for the promotion I work for, I was really happy to see that bare knuckle is getting more attention here.
Yes.
Simply, granted, their format's different. You know, you've got some companies that focus on finding big names already because that does draw a lot of views, and that's great though in the long run because they're getting eyes on the sport. You know, I work for a promotion who they're really kind of the grassroots people. They want to build up the people who started.
Yes.
There's a few guys with BYB who have had careers with Bellator. They've had, you know, some bigger opportunities and have come to us. We've got former UFC guys, but it's a build-up process, and I really love that about the company. But the one thing that, you know, other companies are doing right now, it is going to help everyone in the long run because they're getting eyes on the sport, and that's good for everybody. So the fact that, you know, you can see, you know, Conor McGregor getting attention on the bare knuckle sport, that's great for everybody involved in bare knuckle, whether it's here, whether it's in the UK, whether it's, you know, this company, that company, that's great for everybody. So that's very exciting.
There's enough for everyone to eat, right? Some people like to pocket everything and put up walls, and there is so much out there. The more fighters, the more eyes, the more talent we see. You know, even myself, I'm actively scouting for bare knuckle fighters. Like I'm looking for people too because I know this stuff's about to blow up, as it already is. You know, David was saying it was like his graduation. You know,
That's Waffle.
I'm gonna stop for a sec. I'm just gonna appreciate Waffle.
Oh, okay.
Oh, she doesn't want to. That's cats are cats.
Waffle's fat and big. Doesn't care.
My neighbor said I brought out my dog. Actually, I'm just gonna go let him in for a sec. He's been waiting.
Waffle.
All right. So Jess, I'll send you some pictures because I got 2 gerbils, 2 rabbits, and a dog.
Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness.
But yeah, for bare knuckle too, like he was saying, it was a graduation. You know, having that grand eye because it was trending #1 in the world. Even more so than UFC. I told Christine Faria, you know, I was out during the day. I was doing some work, and I knew I was missing UFC. I didn't bat an eye. I was fucking nervous and anxious that I was gonna miss bare knuckle. You know, it's just such a fun, exciting sport, especially for fucking people like you know, one of the first and only Midwest like bare knuckle females to be doing that too, right? And
I did find out I am not the only one because for a while I was it. I am not the only one. Josette Cotton is from Nebraska.
Okay.
So I didn't know that. So I cannot claim to be the only one in the Midwest now. But we're in different weight classes, so it doesn't count.
You know what? It's good to point that out though too, and you know, you can both be your you know, that's
right.
It's enough for everyone.
Still the only Midwest athlete, male or female, to do bare knuckle MMA though. I'm the only one, so I've got that. Got that.
Will you be like? Are you allowed to go compete with your contract right now in other organizations, or are you kind of locked in?
So I was talking to them about that, and yes, I've kickboxed during my contract, so I can go do any gloved sport I want to do. They're a little iffy on the bare knuckle sport. Like we still haven't really fully talked about that, but they're thinking like if someone's like, hey, do you want to come do bare knuckle kickboxing? They're thinking that that's probably not a go. Like we can't do that. Basically anything with bare knuckles, they're saying no on. But yeah, I can go do anything else. Like I can go kickbox. I can go do MMA. As long as I've got gloves on, I can go do it.
Would you do professional boxing?
So I've never boxed. I've only trained with a boxing coach for maybe 2 years now total. I would love to try it. I don't know if it's my hang up. my concern, I guess, would be, so even if I get another pro debut boxer, people who are making their pro debut in boxing, they still had 60 fucking amateur boxing bouts. You know, boxers have ungodly about like just bouts on bouts on bouts, like ridiculous amounts of fights. Whereas, you know, me coming in as a debut, I've never boxed in my life. I've never had an amateur boxing fight. I've never done it. My only experience is bare knuckle boxing. So I would love to try it. It's just finding someone who would be a legitimately comparable opponent.
Would Christine Faria be a comparable opponent?
Not at all. Like
down the line.
One thing she says a lot, I've seen her say this a lot, there are levels to this. And she is 100% correct. She has been doing martial arts for so long. She has been training for so long. I have trained for about 8 years. Okay. So, you know, after more time, might I get to that level? I might. But like she said, there are levels to this, you know, and her skill set is fantastic. And as far as like fear of fighting someone tough, I'm not afraid of anyone. However, I'm also an adult and I'm realistic, and her skill set is far beyond what mine is right now. Mm-hmm. So as far as boxing debuts, we've never boxed. That's great, but there's other things to look at.
Well, you never know in the future, right? A little back pocket thing.
Right, absolutely. No, like I'm up to, I don't think I've ever turned down a fight. I've been given options, you know, hey, would you rather this fight or this fight? Which one would work for you? But I don't think we've ever just flat out said no to a fight ever. But I also am not dumb. Freaking Waffle, like he's shedding, and so there's like, and he rubbed on my face, so now there's just hair on my face.
Oh, I just wanted to bring up for your for the fight against Karuni. She lost her first one and then won 49 in a row, right? So that's you know.
So with that, there's kind of, I find that fight very interesting for me, simply because one, her skill set level. I mean, she came in as what a 29-1 ISKA kickboxing champion. She was, the size difference was massive. I don't know if people, it was visible, but I don't know if people realize how big the size difference was. I went up in weight to take that fight. I actually came in underweight when I weighed in. And she was fighting, I want to say at like 155 was one of her fight weights. I woke up and weighed myself today at 130. Yeah. I'm small. Yeah. So I took that fight at 135. I think I weighed in at like 132 pounds for it. By the time we got in the ring, it was very obvious that she was at least 20 pounds bigger than me. And I felt it. She landed a couple clean shots on me, and both of those shots actually did a lot of damage to me. I had a tooth knocked out, and I actually lost vision. She hit me with a hook, and I couldn't see. Which in my fight, if you ever see me whispering to my coach, it's probably because there's a problem. But no, I let him know, you know, my tooth is loose. I can't see. That happened like the first or second round. And I'm actually still very proud of that fight, simply because once I felt her power and realized, okay, she's legitimately going to hurt me if she touches me clean. So I just made it ugly. Like, it was a boring, ugly fight. I buried my head in her chest most of the fight. The thing was, she got away with holding me in a guillotine for almost 5 rounds, which was super frustrating. So she was frustrated because she couldn't hit me. I was frustrated because she was laying on me. Yeah. But so I realized it took a level of intelligence on my part to understand, as soon as she did touch me, that this was not a good fight for me. I was going to get hurt in that fight. So I just made sure, like, I made my safety the priority. After my tooth came loose and I realized what the disparity was, I was like, okay, this is a fight I just want to be safe in. My goal is to go 5 rounds. And I just take a little bit of satisfaction in knowing that she was pissed. She was so mad. I was supposed to be her highlight reel. I was supposed to be her big fireworks debut fight. Yeah. She was supposed to finish me early on, and I made it a boring fight. She didn't look good against me. She won. Like, that's great. I'm, you know, she got her win, but it wasn't a good fight. And I'm just really glad that I have that ability to, you know, just the self-preservation to know this is not a good fight for me. This is not going to end well. So let's just stay safe. And to be totally frank, that's part of why I switched camps, because for me, that mentality was the right mentality to have. I would rather be able to fight again any other time instead of get hurt now and not be able to fight again, or, you know, be out for 6 months because of a bad injury. I would rather be able to keep doing this. And there was a little bit of a difference of opinion on that. You know, I'm going to survive if I feel like I'm in danger versus no, you fight to win no matter what. No, I'm, you know, if I feel like I'm legitimately in danger and will get hurt, my safety is going to come first. I'm never going to quit unless I physically can't continue. I'm not going to quit, but I'll be super annoying and make it so you don't look good.
So that's I'm glad, because I was just going to point that out, and that's the most inspiring thing that I that you guys do, that you athletes do, I think, and that's the proper name, athletes, is getting up after getting knocked down, or pushing through and not quitting. You know, you didn't fucking quit, and you can take the most pride in that. The most.
Absolutely.
There's so many that after they're you know, I won't name them, but we've seen them looking back at the corner going like this, I can't do this, you know, I'm hurt, I can't do it, I'm fucked up,
Right.
you know, or going like this. Like, there's none of that. There's no
I
pull.
took extremely bad damage in my fight against Monica Medina. I took extremely bad damage to the point I had to take a knee. The one knockdown she got, it's because I realized, oh shit, I can't see, I don't know what's going on, and I knew she was coming at me. So I took a knee. I knew I needed to. My eye was filled with so much blood, I absolutely could not see anything. I could not see through the blood. And so they, you know, I had to finish the round. And I think that happened in the first. I will say, with all love to Monica, I love her. Like we've become very friendly since our fight, because she was actually my opponent in Game Bread as well. Yeah, so we've become very friendly. I was cussing and screaming after the first round because she had a specific tactic that she used that, I don't want to say it's illegal, but they tell us not to do it. Grabbing the opponent, reaching out and grabbing the hand and pinning it down. You're not supposed to be doing that. Yeah. And that's why I took a ton of damage to my face, because my hand was pinned to my side. And I will say it stopped after the first round. Like I've been known to cuss up a storm in my corner when I get frustrated, and it stopped after the first round. I mean, she did what she was allowed to do, and as long as they allow whatever, if you don't tell me to stop doing something, I'm going to keep doing it. So that's not really on her, but I was just really frustrated about that. But that's part of why I couldn't block in that first round. I didn't really know what was going on until about halfway through the round. I'm like, oh, I don't have hands. Like my hands are stuck. But I took a very bad cut in my face. Like it had like some nerve damage action going on. Like I still have some loss of feeling in my face. I've been cleared to fight. Like there's nothing like wrong with me, but I took some serious damage in that fight. And the fact that people have quit for much less. That's full circle. That's where I was going with this.
Literally, yeah, looking back like this.
Right. You know, I could tell how bad my face was. Like the cut was bad in that fight. And that's actually the first fight I've ever been cut in. That was my fifth bare knuckle fight overall. That was the first time I'd ever been cut, which I'm actually really glad this last one I did was the Trigon Combat card, because we had the gloves. I've not done a bare knuckle fight since that one. And my team has been a little nervous about what's going to happen to that scar, because it's a really thick scar. It's actually still like painful to touch. Like when I touch it, my eye twitches. Like there's just some nerve stuff going on in there. Like I said, I've been cleared to fight. They said it's healed up. It's just going to be it's just a matter of time for it to continuously get better. So I've not had a bare knuckle fight since that one. So I was really glad to have the gloves on at least one more time before I get another bare knuckle fight. Give it a little more time to let that scar tissue kind of get worked out.
Nice.
Because we've not been able to work it out yet, because it's legitimately so painful. Like touching it still hurts. So I've not messed with it yet. Yeah. And so there's still a lot of scar tissue in there.
Okay. Well, it's good that at least you get a little bit more time. So
yeah.
And then you know where you stand too. Or again, like you have to take, you took the knee. A lot of people would just try and again, fight through whatever. But no. You're gonna chance yourself again. It's not about getting hurt or knocked out. It's about you're not looking in that light. You want to be professional. You want to get to the top, right? And so if you put yourself in that position to face plant into the fucking canvas, you're not gonna do that. You're just gonna say,
Yeah, no.
"Give me a fucking standing 8. I need fucking just a second here."
Yep, and that's what it was. I knew I needed a second to recover. I knew it was bad. So as soon as I realized I was in the corner and nope, give me a minute.
Jeez. Well, again, 1-800-273-8255.
Yes.
That's it. I'll let you go. I know you got to go train.
Yes, I've got my opponent tomorrow is actually it's a teenager. I got bumped down from Masters. I got this teenager girl. So we've got some of the teenagers from the gym coming in who are about her size.
Yeah.
Their job today is to give me the business.
I love it. Oh, I fucking love it. You're gonna get the business then. That's good. All right.
Yeah.
I mean, get some of them to take some video. Get the just get this recorded and even for yourself too, so you can see. Obviously, that see where you.
Oh, for sure.
And all that stuff. So, but I'm excited I'm just so fucking excited because you just love to fight, and I love people that love to fight. So, thank you.
Yes. Of course.
Really appreciate you, Jess. Well, we'll talk soon. And, we'll keep in touch.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Sure,
I'm interested. Send me your underwear.
Awesome, will do. Appreciate you, Jess. Have a great day. Have fun.
Thanks.
MMA Journal Canada is partnered with Unity Underwear, King's Fightwear, and MK1 Boxing Equipment. Use code DREAMER to save 20% off your total purchase on all Unity apparel, and head down to the MK1 shop to save 10% off their world-class equipment with code MMA Journal CA.